We'll turn our attention now to tab number 6, which is the Development or Institutional Advancement Committee. Again, this must be chaired by a director. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to make a note about your book. So when you turn to that tab, you will find not only the charges for the Development Committee, you'll find also the charges for the Marketing Committee and the Communications Committee. Now, although there are tabs, there is another tab for Marketing and Communications that we'll talk about later. These are three related committees. Sometimes in the development of a board over time, these three committees will be put together at the beginning until they have the staff to actually separate them out. And once you hear Richard describe the work of these committees, you're going to understand why you're going to need to have at least two to cover those areas. But they're together in your binder just so that you know, and that's not confusing to you.
Thank you.
They're together and separate.
Yes, they are indeed. So we're going to start with tab number 6. You see, as Dave indicated, the three charges there. The makeup of the Development Committee and the ideal, chaired by a director or board member, also will include alums, parents of alums, current parents, and others. They might be grandparents. For the parish elementary school, this committee, made up of parents of alums, grandparents, these are great supporters of the school. The responsibilities that you see delineated here, fundraising coordination, whether you're having car raffles, candy sales, wrapping paper sales, trash bag. We sell almost everything in Catholic schools, and you probably do a lot of that here as well. So coordination of those various fundraisers, along with oversight of annual giving programs, planned giving programs, preparation of the comprehensive development plan, and then the plans to support that, enrollment management, annual giving, marketing, communication. So we're going to take those apart kind of piece by piece. The first letter that you see behind tab 6 is dated March 2007. It's called Fundraising versus Development. Page 4 details the difference. This committee needs to understand the differences between traditional fundraisers and comprehensive development or institutional advancement programs. In the typical development program, you want to see a coordinated effort to broaden the base of support for the school as well as increase the number of philanthropic dollars. The reasons that people give to school vary by age, by gender, and by affiliation with the school. And so the plan being created should be reflective of those. The next letter, which is dated September 2006, entitled Preparing and Using the Comprehensive Development Plan, provides details on what goes into a comprehensive development plan, and this is really the first major task of the Development Committee, to put together a plan, and there's an outline for it on page 4 of that letter that says, what are we going to do as a plan? Let me just give you one example. At the Cathedral Parish, it's Epiphany Parish in Venice, Florida. They adopted this model just 5 years ago. Prior to that, their combined fundraisers on an annual basis raised about $120,000 for the benefit of Epiphany School. Now their fundraisers alone raise almost $200,000, but their other development efforts, including annual giving, raise close to $500,000. And they follow an annually updated comprehensive development plan supported by enrollment plans, marketing plans, and image plans. I'll give you one more example. In the city of Pasadena, California, there are 3 Catholic elementary schools. 3. St. Andrew, St. Philip the Apostle, and Assumption. They each launched development programs and new boards at the same time 15 years ago. Assumption stayed with the model of fundraising coordination that they had and added a simple direct mail campaign for annual giving. It raised $22,000 its first year. St. Andrew put together a small committee. Their annual giving first year ran about $40,000, a little less than 40. St. Philip the Apostle brought in a volunteer, a graduate of the school. Her name was Ann Colburn, and she followed the outline exactly as it was supposed to be followed, and even named the annual giving program Securing a Future for Our Children. First year, the same demographic profile for all three schools, $110,000 in annual giving. It works. We want the committee to look at structuring on paper and then carrying out to the community this type of a plan. There is the next letter deals with high schools. Since there aren't any tonight, I will let you who are watching this on tape read that at your leisure. The next letter, July 2006, talks about planning, implementing, and enhancing the annual fund for an elementary school. I've actually given you a sample there of what an annual giving program should look like for an elementary school in all of its phases. That is followed by a letter, May 2011, on evaluating the annual fund that gives you both an outline and the forms to test how well you're doing. And our hope is that from one year to the next, you will continue to grow and enhance annual giving for your schools. This is really the future of bringing in new resources. Now, the next letter, dated September 2010, called an Effective and Affordable Plan Giving Program, is the next level. You may not get to this for 3 to 4 years, and you should not get to it unless you've run 2 years of annual giving programs first. But once those are in place, you want to look at plan giving. Those are opportunities to encourage bequests through wills, life insurance gifts, charitable remainder trusts, lead trusts, annuity trusts, appreciated stock or property. There are no such things anymore, I don't suppose, but anyway, there used to be. Those are sophisticated giving tools that have the opportunity to provide an endowment for your school. And once you start doing that, one of our client dioceses, the Diocese of Orange in California, which has gone through this program for a number of years, now has regular bequests coming because they're promoted as part of a planned giving program. The little elementary school at San Juan Capistrano Mission last Christmas received a $500,000 outright bequest. They've been notified of multiple other life insurance gifts and probable requests. So this committee, in many ways, is going to spell the long-term viability, if not vitality, of your schools. Before I touch on communication and marketing, any questions you'd like to ask about the development committee per se, recognizing we now need to touch on the other two that David mentioned? Sir.
This actually may be directed more to you, David. I've noticed that one of the perhaps lack of tools that folks have had are opportunities to be able to explain the type of giving stocks and things and how those work. The knowledge of it at the various schools of how does that work mechanically and how things are well understood. Are there tools that are available on the diocese website that would direct people in that fashion independently?
Yes, I'm not going to say for sure that they're on the diocesan website, but where they are is through the Catholic Foundation of West Michigan and the Diocesan Stewardship Office. So all of those materials have been developed and developed very well. You don't have to reinvent those. They already exist, and we can certainly get you those resources.
Okay, here I'm going to go a little bit out of order. Do you want to stop that? Because I'm going to go to marketing next. Here, if you'll go to tab 9.